You might be unintentionally blocking more money from coming to you. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that you need to focus on in 2026 if you want to make more money, save more money, invest more money, and grow your net worth. The most overlooked part in your relationship to money is your nervous system's actual relationship to making money, saving money, investing money, and spending money. Depending on the experiences that you've had throughout your life, you might have specific stories or a relationship with money that is actually subconsciously protecting you from being able to receive more. For example, when I was 16 years old, my family got evicted from our house. We were couch surfing for the better half of a year with friends, family members, neighbors on food stamps. And I remember my mom would go to the church every single weekend to pick up a bag of groceries. I didn't realize at the time, but that entire experience completely dysregulated my nervous system around making money, saving money, and just my overall relationship with money. What I saw demonstrated was that if you have money, it's going to leave you immediately. So that created these unhealthy patterns for me in my teenage years and my early 20s, where the moment that I received any money, I would immediately spend it because I had this unconscious fear that if I held on to it, an emergency would come up or it would need to be spent on a bill, and I wouldn't be able to enjoy my life and the things that I actually wanted to spend my money on. It took a lot of unraveling for me to realize that that was the unconscious block that I had around money, and that I actually felt really uncomfortable seeing money in my bank accounts. The fastest way for you to understand how does my nervous system actually respond to money is to get really familiar with the sensations associated with the different aspects of money. So we've got spending money. Notice how you feel in your body. When you think about having to put money out into the world, do you feel a tightness in your chest? Does it feel restrictive? Do you feel heavy? When you think about making money, how does it feel in your body? That's going to tell us if there is an underlying block there for you in your nervous system. Because the reality of it is, if you don't feel safe with money, money isn't going to feel safe with you. Which brings me to number 2, which is closing out any mental loops that you have around money or life in general that is creating anxiety for you. Anxiety often shows up as a fear, scarcity, reaction in the body. And anytime that we feel anxiety, oftentimes we're moving from a place of fear rather than a place of grounded safety. And sometimes it's as simple as just being able to close out those loops that we have by understanding where we feel overwhelmed, where we feel anxious, what the common fears are that are ruminating in your head every single night that are preventing you from going to sleep or waking you up at 3 in the morning or having you wake up with that knot in your chest. So, a question I want you to ask yourself is, are there any unresolved decisions in your life that are creating those mental loops that you can kind of close out like a desktop tab on your browser? Once you lift that weight off of your shoulder, you're going to feel so much more grounded and so much safer in your physical body. And that safety breeds expansion with money itself. The important thing to remember is that if there is an area of our life where we feel unsafe, it's often going to trickle into other areas of our life, especially our relationship with money. So even if it feels indirect, I promise you, taking decisive action to close out those loops is going to help you feel like you've lifted a weight off of your shoulder. Have you ever heard the phrase money loves structure? This was such a game changer for me back in 2020 when I realized I didn't want to have a ton of credit card debt anymore. I didn't want to be living month to month, and I wanted to see my bank account grow. I had big goals. I wanted to buy my own house. I wanted to have over $100,000 in savings. I had all of these wants and these visions around what I desired around money, but I didn't have any structure to actualize any of these big dreams or desires. So I just kept doing what I was doing. And guess what? I kept getting the same results. So this isn't going to work for everybody. And I am by no means a financial advisor. But the one thing that I did that was really helpful for me was give every single dollar a direction in my business. And I still do this today. What I use now is Profit First. You can go and look up the book. It is absolutely incredible, or find a Profit First professional. Giving every dollar a direction actually allows for you to create progress. Essentially, what I did was look at how much money is coming in on a monthly basis and what is the percentage of that amount of money that's going to go towards my operating expenses in my business, my personal life, my savings, my investment account. And whenever that money came in, I transferred that exact percentage into each individual account. And I didn't use that money for anything other than what it was supposed to be used for. Obviously, that's going to help you really create progress towards your goals. But honestly, more than anything, what that made me feel internally was that I was mature, I was financially savvy, I was making decisions for my future self. and that I was confident that I knew what to do with money, which leads into your belief system. If you are somebody that believes making money is hard or holding money is impossible, or you were just dealt the cards in life where you're always going to be struggling, you are going to continue to create that experience because your reticular activating system inside of your brain is always funneling proof from outside of you that your belief system is correct. Now, you can go and look this up. Your brain literally doesn't want a cognitive dissonance, so it's going to seek things that support your belief systems, your thought process, and your mindset. When you start to take action that aligns with the wealthy woman, you are going to shift your mindset and your belief system about yourself, therefore creating a new reality with money. The way that you think influences the way that you feel and the way that you act, and your actions influence the way that you think and the way that you feel. So when you start to shift your action by bringing this structure in, you are going to start to create an entirely new relationship with money that's going to influence the way you show up in the world, the way that you sell, and the way that you present yourself to create more money-making opportunities. Your belief system overall is what's creating your reality. So the fourth piece that you really need to get rooted in is focusing on what you have versus what you don't have. Again, this plays more into the reticular activating system. If we're only focusing on the negative, if we're only focusing on the lack, what are we going to see in the world? All the things that aren't happening, all the bills that are coming in, and all of the ways in which we're not supported. But when you take time every single day to get super grateful for everything that you have, the fact that you have a computer or a phone to be able to watch this video, the fact that you have access to so much information to support you in actualizing your dreams and becoming the wealthy woman, the four walls that surround you right now, the food on the table, the people that love you, the clients that you do have, the money that is here, this creates this compounded effect of gratitude, abundance, and having rather than not having. If you're somebody that avoids looking at your bank account because you're scared of what you're going to see, I want to challenge you to start looking at your bank account, getting comfortable with your numbers, and thanking God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, every single day for what you do have. In fact, even be grateful if you're in a season where it feels uncomfortable or stretchy. Even the times where we feel like things aren't unfolding as we planned are planting really valuable seeds for us in terms of wisdom and lessons that we can take with us to grow and evolve as a human being, especially with our relationship to money. There have been many investments that I've made in the past where I'm like, probably shouldn't have made that investment. But guess what? The slap across the face, the harsh reality, the mistake that I made, tripping over my own feet was actually exactly what I needed to move forward and make better decisions in the future. Now, the final piece is acting in expectation. And this is a little bit of a hack, right? It's a little bit of a mindfuck because when you are acting in expectation, you're acting as if you are acting in the assumption that everything that you desire is already on its way to you. This is so important. And I talk to my clients about this all the time. We have to stay plugged in, even if it doesn't look like it's happening right now in our external reality. And I'll give you a perfect example. In 2025, at the end of the year, I was telling everyone around me, this isn't going to be my biggest year yet. I can see just based off of the pace that we've been in that the business isn't going to make as much as it has the last couple of years. But guess what? December 2025 was our biggest cash sales month for the entirety of the year. And even throughout all of December, I was like, sales are slow. It's going to be a low month. I was feeling a little crinkly inside. I had my team literally go back through all of our sales and re-add up everything because when I saw the number at the end, I was like, that doesn't make sense because it didn't feel that way externally. And even though I was writing off 2025, there has always been this faith inside of me that I am meant for greatness and that where I am in my money story is just a drop in the bucket of where I am going. That underlying energy is what carried through even though the month looked small to create our biggest cash month of the year. So the point of why I'm sharing this with you is act in expectation. Show up as if it's already done. Stay plugged into your vision. Stay plugged into your desire because even if things don't look like they're happening on the outside, you never know when that next new client's going to come in. You never know when somebody is going to slide into your emails or slide into your DMs and say, oh my God, I need to work with you. Things can happen in an instant. And if we unplug and decide that things aren't going to happen because of XYZ, then Ultimately, we're not going to be taking action anymore. We're probably going to divert our focus to something else. And we're most likely going to cut off the miracle before it even happens because of what we can't see with limited sight. I want to remind you that so much is happening in the unseen for you. And everything that you are setting out to accomplish and achieve and create as it relates to money is already in motion. Remember that things take time. There's the law of gestation, which means that things do need the time to actually gestate. A seed doesn't sprout a flower immediately, it takes root in the ground underneath. And so, right now, you might just be in your root down season. Stay in the energy of expectation and know that if you just keep showing up, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's just simply a matter of when. If you do these 5 things, I have no doubt, and this is coming from someone that had tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, who was homeless as a teenager, had payday advances at the money tree. I have no doubt that you will be able to create any level of success that you desire, but you need to focus on your belief system, the action that you're taking, and your spiritual relationship to money if you want to see true growth. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ava Johanna. I post content like this all week long, focused on money, entrepreneurship, and helping women become wealthy. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, check out some resources that I've created in the description, and I'll see you for the next one.